So in the middle of our ongoing fundraiser, which has like just 5 days left to go as I'm recording this now, I had planned to do some performances out west. It was going to be a western swing of the tour where I was going to drop in on a bunch of schools, but for whatever reason, a number of them had to drop out, and I was faced with, well, I could stick around and just kind of work the fundraiser for a while, or perhaps do the tour anyway and make kind of what I call a listening tour out of it, so I could find out from them just what it is that they get out of these shows that we do. I'm always on the inside looking out, so I don't know what the impact is that's out there. So
I have seen this man's work, and I tell you, he is beyond compare. There is no one else in the national circuit right now that compares to him.
Here, in a nutshell, is what I think my students just got out of this. They were able to make a connection to things they saw on a page and real life. What I loved is even when they don't understand all of the language that they're hearing, all the language that they're reading, when they see it acted out, they're getting the pieces. We heard them giggle in parts where I thought, they're not going to understand this, but they understood it and they get the pieces. We had kids asking questions about, what about Benedict? Did he really care about Beatrice? And the other thing is, you could have heard a pin drop. These are 12-year-olds. We don't hear pins drop often. So they were enamored, they were engaged, which is what we're always looking for.
Well, the first thing I can think of is that students get to learn that classical theater isn't this boring, dusty, old, distant thing from them that they don't relate to. It is vivid, it's relatable.
That it might seem to be out of touch, out of reach, that it's something that you can't relate to. When I saw you do that show, all of a sudden the characters came alive, the author came alive. I learned so much about the author and so many shows seeing your show.
And what I like about them is that in the space of an hour you learn not only the show, you also learn the history behind the show. You know, what was important to Shakespeare at the time he was doing it? Why did he do it? So these are the sort of things that you don't get if you go to visit anybody else's shows.
And I know the kids just loved it, just uproarious laughter, and they came away again with so much knowledge and love for a new playwright that's never talked about. I mean, everybody knows from Shakespeare, but to hear Molière brought to life like that was just ingenious. It's amazing.
I watch you interact with me in the audience where I myself hard of hearing, and you make sure that I can see and what's happening, and you're very sensitive with your audiences. You can read them and you understand them, and you give them an opportunity and a chance to breathe in what art is all about.
Seeing Tim Mooney come flying out on that stage from the minute he started, just going through that text, and I got to see the whole play in that encapsulated way and done with such precision. And
they've read Shakespeare. They've seen a play. They've maybe read a couple scenes, but they've not seen somebody of your caliber, of Tim's caliber, standing up, doing a piece. And all of a sudden, they start making those connections. For example, I think it was last year I had you come in and you did a bit from Julius Caesar. And we had just finished Rome. And the kids were like, oh, that Julius Caesar.
For me, the thing that I really appreciate is that the students get to see these classical pieces and find out that they're really fun, they're entertaining, and they still have something to say today.
I may not understand a particular line from a show, but I do know emotionally what you're saying through your facial expressions and your body.
So it kind of makes not only the theater piece, but the history piece real for it.
Tartuffe is someone I think that they have seen, they've met, and they see him come alive before their eyes.
That to me is exciting.
in a way that I really can't think of another show that I've seen that does that.
So please, give. Give often, give generously, but just give.